Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the United Regional Chamber of Commerce's weekly update. We try and bring you on some interesting guests, talk about some interesting subjects. And today, it is my pleasure to introduce everybody to the new superintendent of schools up at the TriCounty Regional Vocational Technical High School. I'd like everybody to meet Miss Karen McGuire. Hey, Karen.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. Changing the guard up there. We worked a lot with Steve for many, many years, but you're the new boss lady up there.
Yeah.
And so we'd like to introduce you to our viewing audience. And as most of us know, we replay this a few times through our social media. So, Karen, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, first, once again, thank you very much for asking me to come on the show. I am the new superintendent here at TriCounty, and I've been here since July. Prior to working here at TriCounty, I was at Southeastern Vocational Technical High School in Easton as the Director of Career Pathways. I was at Southeastern for 23 years, and I just, thought that it was time for me to step out of Southeastern and try something new, and this opportunity arose, and I thought I've always been fond of the Tri-County community. I know a bit about this school, so I thought it was time for me to take the step over here, and here I am. So it's been an exciting transition, and wonderful people here at the school. There are a lot of things going on, and I'm happy to be here at the school.
Well, we're really happy to have you, and you're getting some fabulous reviews because we know some of those folks up there. So we hear the skinny on the inside.
Good to know.
So, right now, especially over the last few months that you've been there, we've all had to deal with the COVID situation. Let's just start off talking about some of the challenges that you've had at Tri-County dealing with the COVID.
Yeah, so I think just like any school, we're in the situation where we're sort of in between what different members of the community want us to do. And, aside from the mask debate, of course, and then you're always worried that someone's going to become sick, or somebody's, going to bring a virus home to their family. And, so just even aside from the piece of it that people try to weigh in on, you still have the other part that you have to try to make sure that you're managing. Things like social distancing still, even though we don't have the requirement by the state for footage or anything like that, we still do make sure that we have measures in place to be able to contact trace and know which students are with which other students and which staff members are with staff members or other students. And that certainly has a challenging piece to it. The other part is that we're in a situation where we're a 9 through 12 district where we could be part of the off-ramp process through the Department of Ed if we were at 80% vaccinated. So trying to collect and make sure that data is accurate is something that we're in the process of doing now, which has become a little bit more challenging than it should be, in my opinion. The state has a data portal that we log on to get student information, and it's not exactly user-friendly. So we've been in the situation where we've had to try to do a lot of it manually to try to see what position we're in, just so that we could make an educated plan about what the process should be. Then in the meantime, of course, the target moves and the requirement changes, and,
Right.
and here we are. So we're doing the best we can with it. And hopefully we see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we can get back to talking about education and only education, and we're not in this position where we have to be public health as well.
It's almost like playing a chess game right now. You don't know, what pieces are where, and as you said, the regulations change on such a regular basis that you've got to be able to be flexible and shift and move at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Now, are all your classes in person, or is there some still hybrid?
Oh, no, we're 100% in person. Last year, vocational was 100% in person, and now this school year, we're 100%. So it's great to have the kids back in the building. It's nice to be. It's just nice to be all together again and learning here at Tri-County.
Well, one of the things, especially coming from the business side of this, we really need your students. We need your students out there in the trades. Every one of my members, as well as many of the other members of almost any business around, because we just had a an annual meeting for the New England Association of Chamber of Commerce execs, and we're all running into the same thing. There's no plumbers out there. There's no electricians out there. There's no HVAC guys out there. And you turn out such a great product. These kids come out and they don't have any trouble finding a job once they come out of TriCounty. I've been involved for a few years, and I get to see an awful lot of that. And we appreciate all the hard work that your team does up there. Now, you also have some night classes. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so we do have some continuing ed classes and some post-secondary classes at TriCounty for adults. And the interesting part about those programs, which include some of the vocational shops like electrical, and we're looking into plumbing and HVAC. We have nursing programs, cosmetology. Yes, plenty of offerings. But the interesting part about those programs is that it's not just for adult students, 18, graduates, and up to 100 years old if you want. You don't necessarily have to be part of the Tri-County group of towns in order to participate in those classes, those courses. For instance, Tri-County, as you know, it's 11 towns that make up Tri-County. But interestingly enough, right next to us, Bellingham is not one of those towns that makes up Tri-County, even though most people come through Bellingham off the highway in order to get here. But students from Bellingham that are adult ed learners could come to TriCounty as part of our adult ed program. So anyone that would be interested in either continuing ed or a full course, post-secondary course, should go on our website and check out the adult ed offerings that we have. We run them, all year. And we'll be expanding some in January. We're looking at some things like cybersecurity and some more medical programs.
That'll be a big one right now. We have a cybersecurity briefing right before this show, actually, because it is such a challenge out there for everybody. And especially, with the majority of folks who've been working from home, using their own home computers or laptops, the security has been just a nightmare for everybody. Out of those classes, though, your continuing ed, what do you see are the most popular classes right now?
Well, certainly the medical programs are very, very popular. They have been, and they traditionally, had been, but then now with COVID and certainly the amount of fatigue that people in that industry are feeling, there are more and more positions available. And that our nursing program, certified nursing assistant program, and our LPN program are very, very popular. Our programs where electrical people that are electricians to come in to get their tier hours, those programs continue to be popular. Just really a lot of different ones. And I suspect that, as you said, when we do add the cybersecurity as a standalone program, that will also be a very popular program. Cosmetology is also popular. I mean, there are a lot of offerings and a lot of people here in the evenings.
And, with people changing jobs, and especially a lot in the trades, you have to be, I don't know if recertified is the right word, but you have to continue your education. You have to continue certificates. And those are some of the classes that are offered up there that help an awful lot of our tradesmen in the whole area.
Yeah, that's right. And then there's also when areas of the industry, certain areas will expand to add new technologies. This is a place that would do training for that sort of expansion as well. So for instance, in plumbing and electrical, over the last couple of years, there's been a big push for clean energy and for renewable energies and things of that nature. And we would have training programs in order to have retraining or additional training for people in industry to come here to get those certificates as well.
Yeah, that's going to be very important as we move forward, because everybody is getting a little bit eco-friendly as well. One of the stars of your classes up there, because they won national awards, is your robotics program. I know that I think it was 2 years ago, your folks got national recognition because they went to Texas. Yeah. And it's a very thriving program. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so that is, and in fact, the students in that program right now are part of the NASA Hunch program, where they're in development with NASA on some different programs that they started a couple of years ago and is continuing this year. So it's really one of the largest draws for our secondary student. For our regular high school program would certainly be our electronics program, our engineering program, that includes the robotics piece of it. It's every time you go in there, it's very energizing to see because the kids are engaged from the minute they walk in until the minute they leave at whatever time of the day, because they're here for competitions or they're here for other programs. So it is certainly one of the draws here at TriCounty.
Yeah, and one of the other offerings that you have up there are interns, because one of our members who does actually bomb disposal robots in robotics, they grabbed, I think, one or two of the students, and that is another field that is just expanding robotics all over the place. Look at these Amazon places. Some of these big distribution places, it's all robotics.
Yeah, so it's robotics, mechatronics. It's you name it. It certainly is a combination of whether it's from an engineering standpoint or from an advanced manufacturing standpoint. It'll all end up together, and it is a big industry. It's one of the most growing industries in the United States. So we're happy to be able to have those programs here and offer them to our students. It's really exciting for us. Yeah.
Well, we've been able to connect a bunch of the interns to different from the cosmetics all the way to the culinary. You've got a great culinary department up there as well, and the robotics. What future plans do you have for the school?
Yeah, so I'm glad that you brought up the program with the student workers. So we do have a co-op program that's where students, when midway through their junior year into their senior year, they would go out to work in industry that is related to their field, where they would learn additional parts of their industry. They would go out and do that rather than come into the building for their vocational program. And it is a very strong, successful program that we have here for every one of our 16 vocational programs. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because it is a big piece of what we do. We want the students to graduate with an ability to go to work and have those connections. The earlier the better, as far as we're concerned. And as you said before, we have such a demand in this area, and when we do have job fairs for the students, we are at the point where we have more employers than we do students. So it's certainly a place to come if you know that you want to go and find an industry or find a vocation that is best for you, and go right out to work once you graduate from high school and make a great living. So it's a really good opportunity for kids.
And make a great living without being bogged down with all kinds of student debt.
Yeah, so
that's a big part of it.
That is a big thing, and I know that, and I know that a lot of families, they struggle with making a decision about what's right for their student, and it's important to know that because you come to a vocational school doesn't prohibit you from going to college at some point in your life. You could graduate and go right into college, or you could decide that you want to go some years later. But along with that, you have some way to be able to support yourself and pay for that college, because for most people it's not free, and that is regardless of whether it's community college or if you're going to BU. It's going to cost some money. So you may as well have a vocational trade behind you to be able to help pay for it if that is the route you decide to go.
And one of the great parts about your co-op program is these young people get to go and do hands-on. They go out there and they do the actual work, an electrician or a plumber or HVAC. They do the actual work that they will be doing for the rest of their careers if they choose. But it also gives them an opportunity to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe I don't want to do this. And it gives them plenty of options. But I know many of the employers that have taken interns from TriCounty have let them continue their employment. And a few of them have even helped with their college expenses. Right. So it's a great program that you have up there, and we keep pushing it for you because we know the quality of the students that are coming out of there. So we're getting a little close to the end. Any final thoughts for us?
I just, I really appreciate you letting me come on to speak to your audience. And it's just important that the community support TriCounty. We have been here since 1977, and it's, we're not stopping now. We love to see our graduates and the great things that they do, and we're very proud of them. And, it's just really a great place. We have a restaurant that's open to the public, so call ahead and come on in and have lunch.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about Jerry's Place a minute. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Jerry's.
Tell us about Jerry's Place.
Yeah, so we have Jerry's Place, which is a restaurant that student-run and operated restaurant with our culinary program that's open during the week. But again, call ahead because when we have freshmen, grade 9 students in there at the beginning of the year, the schedule is a little bit, off and on. So it's best that people call ahead to make sure we're open. But aside from the restaurant, we have a marketplace that is part of the culinary program where it's a quicker sort of, you come in and buy a salad that's pre-made, or you buy macaroni and cheese to take home to heat up, or something like that. But the restaurant itself, Jerry's Place, is a sit-down, full-service restaurant that's open to the staff and to the public. Mm-hmm.
Fabulous place. I've eaten there numerous times, and the food is always great. Well, Karen McGuire, thank you very much for coming on the show today. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule, and hopefully we'll see more of you. I work with that weirdo Chris Ward. Chris Ward is a great guy. He's the president of the TriCounty Foundation, and
proud alumni. He's a proud alumni of TriCounty, and he does a lot of work with the foundation. So happy to have him here too.
Yeah, and I like to pick on him a little bit, Yeah. But Karen, thank you once again, and we'll see you soon.
All right, my pleasure. Take care.
Okay. Folks, thank you for joining us again today for this quick update from the United Regional Chamber. Hopefully you had a chance to meet the new superintendent of schools, Karen McGuire. She's doing a fabulous job up there. And we'll see you next week. Everybody, please stay safe.